By this time tomorrow, there will be new players on the New York Football Giants. And on today's show, we're going to peel back the curtain as Giants insider Ian O'Connor puts some color to the picture of what might be the free agency plans for Big Blue. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. And remember to join us Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time as we're going live with our free agency frenzy. I want to go to this little quote from Ian O'Connor's latest article from The Athletic. Go support The Athletic and go support Ian. He is crushing it on the Giants beat. Super awesome guy as well. He wrote, the Giants would like to keep their three most impactful free agents: right tackle Jermaine Illuminor, receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, and corner Cordell Flott. But two out of the three would be considered a victory, with Robinson expected to be the most difficult to re-sign between all of them. Look, I think the Giants are going to make it a priority to bring back Jermaine Illuminor. The question is, how much money are other teams going to offer him? And are the Giants willing to go that high? When it comes to Wan'Dale Robinson, I don't really expect him to be back with the Giants. If he is, I will be shocked by it. I think he's going to be a Tennessee Titan, and I think his days as a Giant are over. When it comes to Cordell Flott, he is the total wild card for me. I'd love to keep the 24-year-old corner, but do I want to pay him to be CB2 when I'm already paying Paulson Adebo to be essentially a CB1, but he is really a CB2? And if you have two CB2s, you don't got a CB1. I expect the Giants to be aggressive in free agency or a trade at the corner market, and maybe it is Flott, or maybe it's somebody else like Jamel Dean or Jalen Watson of the Kansas City Chiefs. O'Connor also wrote this, saying, don't expect the Giants to spend big on Baltimore Ravens center Tyler Linderbaum or Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl MVP running back Kenneth Walker, as much as they'd love to land both those players. Linderbaum is the top center in the free agency market, and he is going to put pen to paper to become the highest paid center in the history of the National Football League. Look, I like Tyler Linderbaum a lot. I want him on the Giants. If they sign him, I'm going to be celebrating. I'm going to be partying. I think the Giants should go out and do it. Thing is, will they have enough money? I've got a pretty aggressive take on that coming up, but keep your eyes on Linderbaum going to the NFC East, just not the New York Giants. Jordan Schultz saying, should he not re-sign with the Ravens, there is a belief among teams that the Commanders will heavily pursue Tyler Linderbaum in NFL free agency. The Giants can't get him, and he winds up in the NFC East. I am going to be a little bit peeved. Kenneth Walker, a free agent as well. According to O'Connor, they aren't going to pay him big money in free agency. I don't think that they should. Now, if he costs $11 or $12 million, I'm absolutely okay with that. But for a running back that's had soft tissue injuries, and for a running back that's 25 years old, I don't want to give him a long-term expensive deal. If you want to run the football, you got to build the offensive line, and I'm hoping that's what the New York Giants are going to do. Before we continue on with the video, here's what I'm looking to trade on Polymarket. For Monday's Denver Nuggets game, Polymarket is giving the Nuggets a 28% chance to win against OKC, which is wild. The value there is just way too good. The Nuggets will be looking to show up and show out against the former NBA champions. For those reasons, I'm taking Denver at 28% to win this game. $100 wins you $357 if Denver takes the dub. Plus, with Polymarket, you could trade in and out on momentum shifts without getting blocked or penalized. With in-game trading, once the Nuggets get up, I can either ride it out all the way or I could sell early. For example, if you buy at 28% and you sell at just 60%, you can snag a cool $214 payout. I'll be keeping my eye on how the Nuggets come out of the gates, as I think they're going to show up against the Thunder. You can't do this with a traditional sports book, so get started today. Polymarket is legal in all 50 states. Download the app now to get to the top of the wait list. The only way to do that is by clicking the link in the description and comments. All right, let's wrap up today's show. Once again, this coming from Ian O'Connor talking about the Giants not paying Linderbaum and not paying Kenneth Walker. He says ditto for the receiver position. Alec Pierce and Mike Evans, whose asking prices appear to be too high. So it doesn't sound like the Giants are going to be playing at the top of the wide receiver market in free agency either. So you're not playing at the top of the center market. You're not paying at the top of the running back market. Doesn't sound like you're playing at the top of the receiver market. Where are the Giants going to be spending money? I thought what Ian O'Connor said here was interesting. Quote, the Giants have too many holes to fill to throw a truckload of cash at a singular star, or to do what Harbaugh's former team did by trading 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby, or to send 4 picks to the Kansas City Chiefs for Trent McDuffie at $30 million a pop, as the Los Angeles Rams did. He also has the Giants were never involved in those talks. So we've had conflicting reports about the interest from the Giants in Trent McDuffie. I'll just say this, and I'm not saying that this is an opinion piece from Ian O'Connor. He is just reporting what he has heard. I absolutely hate the mindset and the idea and the thought process that the New York Giants can't pay a top player at any position because they have too many holes to fill and they don't have enough cap space. Well, they have some of the most money in 2027, and they have some of the most money in 2028, and they have barely anybody under contract during those years. They can dip into the pool of 2027 and 2028 free agency dollars, and they can make the 2026 cap hit for these players low. I don't understand why it's like, okay, if Linderbaum signs a 3-year, $60 million deal, he's costing the Giants $20 million this year. That is not the way it works, ladies and gentlemen. And secondly, why are we acting like the Giants have limited funds right now? They can easily get to $60 million in cap space. And that's without cutting anybody that is worth a damn, respectively. That's while holding on to John Runyon. That's by restructuring the contract of Brian Burns, restructuring the contract of Andrew Thomas, moving on from your kicker, who stinks, moving on from Roy Robertson-Harris, who is a depth piece. The Giants can easily create enough cap space to add very good football players to their team right now. And if you can't do it now, when are you going to do it? The Giants have a starting quarterback, a starting receiver, and a starting edge rusher on rookie scale contracts. All I hear about is Joe Shane drafted for positional value so he could have those players on cheap deals so he can build out the roster. You also have the number 5 pick who's going to be cheap. And Jaxson Dart, Malik Neighbors, Abdul Carter, and the number 5 pick, they will never be cheaper on the New York Giants salary cap books than they are right now. So if you're not willing to spend now, when are you going to do it? All right, if they aren't going to be aggressive in adding talent to this team now, when will they be? Now is the time to push the chips in. Joe Shane has always had a plan of, I got to get the salary cap in a good spot. He took over a team that was run into the dirt by Dave Gettleman, and he has done a solid job of keeping the Giants healthy when it comes to the salary cap. Then his job was to find the franchise quarterback. We all think he's done that with Jaxson Dart. Now it's time to build around the rookie quarterback where you have cap space and no dead money. Like, go add some good football players. It's time for the New York Giants to act like the New York Football Giants. I'm tired of the Giants acting like the Carolina Panthers or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Houston Texans, teams that don't have the cachet or the money like the New York Giants. You just sold a tenth of your franchise for $1 billion. Your salary cap sheets are clean in 2027 and in 2028, and you have a roster full of players at premium positions that are cheap. I'm not saying go out and blow your load all on Tyler Linderbaum or blow your load on the top players at every single position. And I am getting frustrated at this because if you're not going to pay good players now, when are you going to do it? You better start using void years. You better start dipping into the future cap because how are you supposed to compete against the Eagles when they do that, or against the 49ers when they do that, or the Seattle Seahawks, or the Rams, or every single other team in the NFC East does it. Think about it like this. If the Giants have $100 million to spend on their roster, how are they supposed to compete when the Eagles have $200 million to spend on their roster? The scale is tilted in favor of the Eagles, and so is the talent on their roster. It's no secret. When you pay more money, you get more good players. And when you have more good players, you win more football games. Something the Giants haven't done, considering they've won 13 games in the last 3 years. It's time to build this roster. Joe Schoen didn't spend money in free agency year 1 because he didn't want to wreck the future cap. He didn't spend money in free agency year 2 because he didn't want to wreck the future cap. He didn't do it in year 3. He did it last year. The cap's still not wrecked. You have a franchise quarterback on a rookie scale deal. You have Malik Neighbors on a rookie scale deal. You have Abdul Carter on a rookie scale deal. If you're not going to be aggressive now with John Harbaugh, who's 63 years old, when the fuck are you going to do it? Sorry, I'm tired of the Giants and Giants fans acting like they are broke, and they're not the New York Giants. It's time to start playing ball like all the other elite franchises in this league. And on top of that, you have just 2 picks inside the top 100. Everyone, myself, you, me, Dupree, your father, your mother, your cousin, your auntie, all of them think the New York Giants aren't that good on the roster. They have to get better, right? So how are you supposed to do it? They're not going to be aggressive in free agency. They only have 2 picks inside the top 104. Where are they going to build this roster? John Harbaugh came out and said it. We are going to compete for the playoffs and for championships. I expect and want to make the playoffs next year. So your coach is coming out saying, I expect to make the playoffs. Giants won 4 games last year. Giants won 3 games the year before that. They won 6 games the year before that. They've won 13 games in the last 3 years. And you're telling me the coach who expects to win isn't going to be put with a roster that was aggressively built during the rookie scale contract of a quarterback? Come on, man. Like, it's time. It's time to play ball like all the other top teams do in this league. I digress. Let's close today's show talking about Kayvon Thibodeaux. Will a trade happen? Right now, he counts for $15 million on the cap sheet this year. He does not have a deal that reaches into the 2027 season. This is the last year of his deal. He's playing on his 5th-year option. At this point, he is a depth piece for the New York Giants, and I know for a fact the New York Giants have called multiple teams about a Kayvon Thibodeaux trade. They almost made one with the Bears. I have that on source. But the Giants wanted another draft pick coming from Chicago with Tremaine Edmonds. The Giants didn't feel like the Bears were offering a high enough pick. Ian O'Connor writes this. As for the possibility of dealing Kayvon Thibodeaux, the 5th pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, that seems to be a 50-50 proposition. The Giants think he's a pretty damn good football player despite his declining production. Before I read this next quote, if the Giants thought he was a pretty damn good football player, why haven't they extended his contract? He also writes, if they field an offer of a late 2nd-round pick or high 3rd round, perhaps they'll move him. If not, chances are they'll keep Thibodeaux and bank on Harbaugh coaching him up in a contract year. I say this as respectively as I can to Ian O'Connor. That is team speak. That is free agency speak. That is, Ian, put the word out. We're only going to take Kayvon Thibodeaux in a trade if we can get a day 2 pick. Giants aren't getting a day 2 pick. Now, if they did, there's absolutely no way that you could say no to that. If the Giants are offered a top 64 pick in this draft, they're taking it. If the Giants are offered a top 100 pick in this draft, they are taking it. Also, if you trade Kayvon Thibodeaux, you clear $15 million in cap space, which, think about it like this. Would you rather have Kayvon Thibodeaux or $15 million and a 4th-round pick? I don't know. I also go back to what Ian O'Connor said, saying that, and again, this isn't me going at Ian O'Connor. Ian is reporting what he is told, so I am just going at the New York Giants and what they are telling him. Like, you can't be the guy or on the team that says the Giants have too many holes to fill to throw a truckload of cash at a singular star. And then also be the guy in the team that's willing to keep Kayvon Thibodeaux to be your edge 3 with a $15 million cap hit. So the Giants are saying we can't pay Tyler Linderbaum, we can't pay Mike Evans, we can't pay Jamel Dean, we can't pay Devin Lloyd, we can't pay any of these players who will all have a cap hit of less than $15 million this year, but we're going to hold on to an edge depth piece who hasn't been productive or healthy the last 2 years, and we're going to pay him $15 million? Like, I know I may look stupid. I ain't stupid. You can't sell me that bullshit. And you've got an edge 4 who nearly has a cap hit of $7 million this year in Chauncey Golston. So the Giants are going to pay edge 3 and edge 4 $22 million this year. But they can't get Linderbaum. They can't get Mike Evans. They can't get Alec Pierce. They can't go get the interior defensive lineman from the Denver Broncos. Can't go pay anybody on defense. That's backwards. That's ass backwards. We're going to pay $15 million, one of our highest cap hits on the team this year, for a backup, but we can't go pay other people. Nope, can't do it. It makes absolutely no sense. Go be aggressive. You don't have to be reckless. There's a fine line. Be aggressive. Add good football players to this team because they need it, because they don't have a lot. They won 4 games this year, 3 games last year, 6 games the year before that. They've won 13 games in the last 3 years. There are teams that won more than 13 games this year. Be aggressive. Build this roster out. 63-year-old head coach. Franchise quarterback on a rookie deal. Franchise wide receiver on a rookie deal. Franchise edge rusher on a rookie deal. Are we playing for keeps or not? I don't know. I'm ready for NFL free agency. I'm tired of speculation. I'm tired of all the hoopla. If you're ready for the Giants to go out and add some big-time players, hit that thumbs-up icon. And make sure you are following me over on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG. Hit me up.